with Tolu being out this week, obviously, what's kind of I know you don't want to give away your plan, but and you may tell me that you can't give away your plan, but does that mean more minutes for JD at the 5 or starting Cam at the 4? Or obviously, you have some options there with your bench.
Well, I mean, we've done it, played that way more than we played with Tolo, so it's pretty easy to figure out how we've been playing most of the year. So it's already explanatory. All you got to do is watch 10 of our games that he didn't play in and see how we play.
And any update on when Rocket may come back? Or are you not expecting him this week?
He tested negative again for a third straight day today, so he'll be practicing today and taking the trip with us. When he initially showed symptoms on, I guess it was Friday night, Friday night, the night before our game against Ole Miss. He was displaying all the symptoms you would expect in a COVID case, and he, didn't feel good come game time. He couldn't have played probably either way, but we wanted to make sure it wasn't COVID. And amazingly, he didn't get it. So he had some other kind of virus that had him get a lot of the same symptoms, because today was the third day now. He tested negative for both. So he hasn't done anything since Friday, but he'll get a chance to practice and work out and make the trip and play tomorrow.
Is there any last question for me with Tolu? Obviously, you guys came out with a statement yesterday, week to week. What kind of time frame are you thinking, and what does he have?
Couple weeks would be, it's just like a sprained ankle. Everybody's different. This sprained knee is obviously more, difficult than a sprained ankle can be. But my best guesstimate is it'll be a couple weeks before he's back, and that's being optimistic, which I like to be. There's a slight chance it could be a few days earlier than that, but there's also a chance it could be 3 weeks plus. We just don't know. Everybody heals differently. Everybody responds differently. It's just sad. I watched it again yesterday and happened with 1:20 to go.
Theo, go ahead.
Coach, you guys.
I'm sorry, I'm still talking. Can you guys not hear me?
You froze for a minute. They called on me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was still talking. I didn't know that we were just bypassing my explanation to Paul. But go ahead, Theo.
Okay. You guys are 11-1 at home so far, 2-4 away from it. With the schedule that you guys have coming up, how important would a win tomorrow at Rupp Arena be?
Every win is critical and important. I mean, a win at Rupp Arena would be huge from the standpoint that they're one of the top teams in the country, and that automatically bolsters your resume if you can get a win like that in an incredibly tough venue against a great team that is playing really well. That's very, very talented. They're in the top 10, both in net and in the Ken Palm rankings, and deservedly so. They're really good.
Let's go up to Lexington and Ben Roberts for a couple. Ben, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, DJ Jeffries was a guy who Kentucky really wanted out of high school, and I know you guys did too. Just how big of an addition was that for you guys this past offseason, and what has he meant to your team so far this season?
Yeah, he was a great addition. He originally, I think, verbaled to Kentucky maybe his junior year in high school or sophomore year. I can't remember which. It's so long ago now. Then he reopened his recruiting up and ultimately landed at Memphis before arriving here this summer. And we were just thrilled to get him. And, he's one of our best defenders. He's a very smart player. He's, a good all-around player. He can do a lot of everything: rebound, pass, handles the ball. And again, one of our best defensive players, and most versatile players, and he can play multiple positions and defend multiple positions.
Yeah, and given his history with Kentucky, do you talk to him before this game, get him to settle down at all, or is it just kind of play game as normal?
Yeah, we're just going normal.
Yeah, and then Ty Washington obviously got hurt early in the game Saturday against Auburn. It sounds like he's day-to-day and maybe questionable for tomorrow night. From what you've seen, what does he bring to that Kentucky team? And do you game plan any differently at all, not knowing where he's going to be?
Not really. I mean, I assume he'll play, not knowing. We'll plan like he's normally going to be there. He was amazing when Wheeler was out. I watched the game that he had 17 assists in, was just blown away by his basketball IQ and how he saw the floor so well and how he shared the ball so well and still, scored well. And he's really an incredible scorer. He's very good off the dribble. He's a good catch and shoot guy. He's got a great handle, very, very smart. He's just another one of, the typical, outstanding freshmen that have come through that program over the years.
Thanks, Coach.
But
Andy, go ahead for a couple.
Hey, Ben, obviously Oscar Tshiebwe is quite a player this year for Kentucky. How do you try to match up with a guy like that and kind of slow him down low?
well, he's a monster. I mean, like his rebound numbers are just phenomenal. I'm amazed when I watch how well he runs the floor. He runs the floor like a tank, a very fast tank. I mean, he's incredibly athletic and strong. And what's really fun to watch him and appreciate about him is everything is two-handed. He has two hands on all his rebounds. He has two hands on, and everything he does. His hands are amazing how strong he is in his motor. And then you can't move him. He's immovable. I mean, like when he's at it, wherever he's at, he ain't moving. It would take, 2 or 3 guys to be able to move him once he's set where he's, posting up or planting himself to get second shots. And he's getting 5 offensive rebounds plus a game. I mean, he's, just an incredible player and has been, arguably one of the best players in the country.
I know obviously it would probably be nice to have Tolu to match up with him, but you don't. So how do you kind of go about that matchup? And I guess how often do you try to double in the post?
We do our best. We do the best we can do. And what's really problematic is just trying to block him out and keep him off the offensive glass. As soon as his man leaves to help on any penetration, they're just throwing the ball at the rim and he's dunking it. So it's really a tough one. He creates a lot of, problems.
Steph, go ahead for a couple.
Ben, obviously with the frustrating season that Tolu's had kind of just in and out of the lineup, what was your conversation maybe like with him, after the most, recent injury? And I guess how do you kind of keep his spirits up knowing that, he could be back next season or this season in a couple of weeks?
It's just, thankfully he has a really good family, very supportive mom and dad that are really good in terms of helping him remain positive. And, as I had a conversation with his dad just about the last episode when he had COVID, was that, he's, Tolu's, a very godly young kid and, he's very prayerful. So he's strong mentally. And this just, as Dr. Jones, our team orthopedic surgeon, was saying, this string of bad luck that he's endured is incredible and hopefully over. But, he's just got to, keep fighting through the adversity that he's been having to deal with.
John Calipari is going to be going for his 800th career win against you guys. Obviously, I'm sure you'd like to delay that by at least one more game. But what's your relationship kind of been like with him throughout the years, and how cool is it, I guess, to see him on the verge of another accolade?
Yeah, John's done an amazing job during his career. He's a Pittsburgh guy originally, so he was highly thought of when I arrived at Pitt, and he has had an amazing career. He's done a great job. He's taken 3 different programs to the Final Four. He's been phenomenal at Kentucky and really had them consistent throughout his tenure there. And, has had, changed the game the way, they went with freshmen and, his recruiting classes have been amazing everywhere he's been, and especially at Kentucky. And he's got a lot left in him. I'll be happy for him when he gets to 1,000. But you're right, I would like to hold off the 800 at least one more day.
I know you mentioned there just the success that he's kind of had bringing in freshmen, but they've got a few grad transfers on their team who've been pretty good for them this year. I mean, where do you kind of see their experience kind of fitting into this lineup with them?
I think it's really unique, a Kentucky team. During the 7 years I've been in the league, this is by far the oldest they've ever been. And I think it's really played to their advantage. Mintz being a 6-year guy, Sheboy being a 3rd-year guy, Grady, graduate transfer. I mean, you have a lot of, good players that have very good experience. Wheeler's a 3rd-year player, a junior. They play 7 guys essentially. Toppin's really having a good year. I think he's unheralded. I mean, Toppin's a very, very good player. Mintz has been playing amazing for him. So they're really talented. And then they have guys like Ware that come in and bang around and, cause issues because of just his toughness and his strength. So they're really having a great year. And I think I'm sure it's probably been fun for John to have a little, more experience to work with instead of just, pure freshmen this year.
John Sokoloff, go ahead.
And this stretch, I mean, we've been talking about Kentucky the last 15 minutes or so, but this stretch with them, and then Saturday you're at Tech, you get a team that's probably going to be top 15 when the new AP poll comes out. Based on your experience, how much do you kind of learn about your team when you go through hard stretches like this, when you play back-to-back top 15 teams kind of right in the heart of the season?
I was really looking forward to this stretch. I was just so disappointed. I mean, like after the game, I basically didn't have a normal amount of elation and joy after, a win over our rival because of what happened to Tolu. And I'm just sad that he's not available to play in these games for him and for us. That being said, we've got to go out and, make some, few alterations to try to take advantage of, playing a little differently without him. And both those teams are great teams. I mean, Kentucky has the potential to win the whole thing without question. And I think that Texas Tech has a chance to battle for their league championship. I mean, the way they've been playing defensively, he's done an amazing job when you consider they lost so much from last year, went out and went to the transfer portal and really put together a great team that defends as well as anybody in the country.
Theo, wrap us up.
Sure. Kentucky doesn't take many threes. They don't get to the line that much. What kind of test will this be for your team's defense inside the arc?
Well, the biggest test is going to be, Theo, just getting back in transition. They're so good in transition. Like if you watch their game against Tennessee, for example, they get out and they really run. They find Grady in transition. I mean, they're constantly looking to find him for that quick spot up 3. He's so good, and they're so good at finding him. They attack the rim. They are great in transition. So that's the first and foremost. And then secondly, they have a great outside attack because of Sheboy. He forces you to help inside. You can't handle him one-on-one. You got to either cover down with guards or help with other bigs. I mean, he's just a load in there because of his size and his strength. And they're very efficient with their offense. They really, do a good job taking good shots. And they're very efficient at both ends of the floor, actually, when you look at the Kim Palm rankings.